world around you is not just chaos, but an arena where every action you take determines whether you'll be the master of your fate or merely a slave to random circumstances. The thoughts that capture your mind can either create your strength or destroy it. This video is based on Nietzsche's philosophy and will be interesting and useful to those who are passionate about philosophy or wish to explore it. Well then, let's begin. They do not need to defeat you. They do not need to strike you, outwit you, or crush you in battle. They need only to make you react. A single crack in your composure, a moment of rage, and you have already lost. The leash is on your neck, and you have handed it over willingly. To control your reaction is to control you. To control you is to make you predictable, weak, a puppet whose strings are pulled by the invisible hands of those who know how to press the right buttons. What is anger, if not the admission that they have found the key to your mind? What is rage, if not proof that they own a piece of you? They smile when you clench your fists. They watch with satisfaction as your voice rises, your breath shortens, your thoughts scatter like dry leaves in the wind. And while you are burning, they remain cool. While you drown in your own fury, they stand above you, untouched, amused, victorious. There is no power in uncontrolled emotion, only surrender. When you rage, you are not the master of yourself. You are an instrument played by another. The true master does not let his opponent see his heartbeat quicken. He does not let his blood boil at the touch of an insult. He does not allow others to steer his ship through the storms they create. And so I ask, not as a question but as a command to your soul, why do you allow yourself to be taken? Why do you hand them your mind, your control, your very essence? Will you remain a creature of impulse, a slave to every provocation? Or will you take back what is yours and stand, silent, unshaken, beyond their reach? The choice is made in every moment. The battle is not won with fists or words, but with absolute stillness. Only when they can no longer move you, no longer access the levers of your being, will you be free. And that true mastery over self is a victory they will never recover from. 10 minutes from now, will you regret? Time is a ruthless executioner. It does not wait, does not warn, does not grant second chances. In the heat of the moment, you believe yourself justified. The fire within you demands release. Your pulse quickens, your hands tighten into fists, your words coil, sharp as blades, ready to strike. You feel power in this rage, a sense of righteousness, a desperate need to let the world know you will not be broken. And yet, what is this power, if not an illusion? A hollow storm that will pass, leaving behind only ruins. You do not lash out for control, you lash out because you have already lost it. The anger is not a weapon in your hands, it is a chain around your neck, yanking you forward, making you a servant to the impulse of the moment. Now, imagine yourself 10 minutes from now. The storm has passed. The air is still, but the damage is done. The words you spoke cannot be unspoken. The look in their eyes cannot be erased. The weight in your chest is no longer rage but regret, that cold and mocking presence that comes too late, when all you can do is wish that you had held your tongue, had steadied your hand, had been greater than the moment that consumed you. You will tell yourself that you had no choice, that the situation demanded a response, that they deserved your anger. But all of these are lies whispered by a wounded pride that would rather see you fall than admit your weakness. What has truly changed, after all? Has the world bent to your fury? Has your enemy been undone by your wrath? No, only you have been altered, and not into something stronger, but into something lesser. The true test of power is not in striking back, but in choosing not to. It is in standing firm when the tempest rages within, in holding back when every nerve screams for release. Those who act without thought are no different from beasts, ruled by their instincts, forever enslaved to the moment. But you, are you merely an animal, or are you something greater? A master of the self does not live in the moment, he rules over it. He sees beyond it. He does not ask whether he should react, he already knows. The answer is written in the weight of consequence, in the cold clarity of foresight. He does not trade 10 seconds of satisfaction for 10 minutes of regret, nor 10 minutes of regret for 10 years of wisdom. So hold. Endure. Let the rage pass through you like a wave that crashes and fades, leaving you unmoved. Stand above it, look beyond it. The moment is fleeting, but the damage is lasting. Be the one who sees further. Be the one who remains. And when 10 minutes pass, let the only thing you feel be pride, the pride of knowing you chose mastery over weakness, restraint over ruin, greatness over regret. The frozen gaze, a weapon of the strong. Power does not shout. It does not tremble, does not fidget, does not waste itself in frantic motion. Power is silent. Power is still. Power is the gaze that meets the storm and does not blink. Look around you. The weak are restless. Their hands betray them. Their lips quiver with words they cannot hold back. Their bodies shift under the weight of their own insecurity. They seek validation in noise, in movement, in endless explanations. But the one who is truly strong needs none of these. He stands. He watches. And in that gaze, the world finds itself judged and measured. There is an art to this, an ancient understanding that has existed long before words. A king does not flinch before his subjects. A warrior does not reveal his fear to his enemy. A true master of himself lets the fire rage within but shows nothing of it to the world. The weak react, the strong endure, and in that endurance they dominate. A frozen gaze is more than mere defiance. It is a weapon. When the fool rants and raves, when the coward searches for approval, when the aggressor seeks to provoke, give them nothing. No reaction, no weakness, no foothold in your mind. Let them see themselves in the mirror of your stillness. The more they struggle to shake you, the more they expose their own frailty. A man who cannot be read is feared. The one who does not reveal whether he is angry, amused, or indifferent controls the mind of those who try to decipher him. And when they do not know what you feel, they do not know what you will do next. This is the essence of power, unpredictability wrapped in absolute composure. But to achieve this, you must train. You must learn to contain the fire, to let it burn beneath the surface without consuming you. You must become a monument of control, a fortress whose gates remain closed no matter how fiercely the enemy knocks. There will be moments when your blood demands a reaction, when every fiber of your being screams to respond. That is the test. That is when you must be ice. And then watch what happens. Watch how they falter. Watch how their confidence withers. Watch how, in the presence of your stillness, their own weakness becomes unbearable. A frozen gaze is not just a shield, it is a blade. A silent declaration that no force in the world will shake you. The one who masters it does not need to demand respect. He is given it. For he is above the moment, above the noise, above the chaos. Be that man. Be the one who stands unshaken, while the world trembles before him. The view from above, rise beyond the chaos. The world writhes in endless motion. People collide, voices rise, tempers flare, and emotions burn like uncontrolled fire. The weak are dragged into this chaos, enslaved by the moment, reacting without thought, drowning in the turmoil of their own impulses. But you must not be among them. You must rise. You must look down upon it all as a god gazes upon men, distant yet watching, untouched by their fleeting struggles. See the scene for what it is. A performance. A grand spectacle of human folly, where each person plays their role, some as fools, others as tyrants, many as mere extras, unaware of the script that binds them. But you are not an extra. You are not one of the mindless shouting masses, lost in their own trivial disputes. You are the one who sees beyond, the one who understands that none of it truly matters. Not the insults, not the petty betrayals, not the desperate attempts of others to shake your composure. It is all part of the theater of life, and only the greatest actors control their own performance. The one who masters this perspective becomes untouchable. He does not flinch when provoked, because he sees the moment for what it is, temporary, insignificant, beneath him. He does not allow rage to seize him, because he understands that anger is the tool of the small-minded, of those still trapped within the illusion that every conflict is worth their energy. No, the master of the self does not descend into the mud to wrestle with swine. He remains above, watching, knowing that his strength lies in his detachment. But detachment is not indifference, it is supremacy. The one who controls his perspective controls his fate. When others lose themselves in the chaos, you will remain centered. When they react like animals, You will remain poised, deliberate, unshaken. And in that stillness, in that refusal to be pulled into the drama, you will find a power that few will ever know. What does it mean to be the best actor in this play of life? It means knowing when to speak and when to remain silent. It means choosing your battles, never wasting yourself on trivialities. It means never letting another dictate your emotions, never letting them pull you into their storm. A true master does not perform for the audience. He bends the audience to his performance. And so, stand above it all. Watch the chaos unfold, but do not be part of it. Remain the observer, the one who sees the grander picture, the one who does not react but decides. The world is a stage, and you must choose. Will you be the mindless fool thrown about by every scene? Or will you be the sovereign of your own fate, the actor who commands the stage with presence alone? Rise above. Look down upon it all. And when the dust settles, let them look up and wonder how you remained untouchable while they crumbled in the storm. Shift your focus. Seize control of your mind. You feel the grip of the moment tightening around you. The world narrows, vision sharpens. The heat of emotion surges within. Anger, fear, frustration. Whatever it is, it demands your full attention, drags you into its depths, pulls at the strings of your mind like a ruthless puppeteer. And if you surrender to it, if you allow your thoughts to be swallowed whole by this single consuming force, you become its prisoner. But you are not a prisoner. You are the master. And the master of himself does not drown. He steps away from the edge. Look elsewhere. Shift your focus. The trap of emotion is that it makes itself the center of the universe, the only thing that seems to exist in that instant. It blinds you to everything but itself. And yet, the world has not stopped. The clock still ticks. The wind still moves through the trees. There is a crack in the wall, a pattern in the floor, a passing cloud in the sky, silent, indifferent, untouched by your turmoil. Fix your gaze on these things, and watch as the moment loses its hold. This is not escapism. This is dominance. It is the refusal to be consumed, the decision to remain above the storm rather than be lost within it. The weak allow themselves to be pulled deeper, to spiral into thoughts that devour them from the inside. The strong know how to shift. They reclaim their mind with a single act, by looking away, by pulling their thoughts elsewhere, by refusing to let any one emotion become their master. When you look at the world beyond your emotion, you remind yourself of something crucial. This moment is small. This fire within you is temporary. It is nothing compared to the vastness of existence, to the endless march of time, to the unshaken stillness of the world beyond your fleeting turmoil. The more you anchor yourself in these external details, the more your own storm begins to fade. Control is never won through struggle. It is won through choice. The choice to step back when the impulse is to charge forward. The choice to observe when the instinct is to react. The choice to shift focus when the moment demands your complete surrender. So the next time the world threatens to consume you, do not fight it head-on. Outsmart it. Look to the side. The moment you do, you will see what others cannot. That no emotion, no conflict, no fleeting fire within you is stronger than your own ability to turn away. And that is real power. Stand tall. Command your own power. A hunched back is a confession. A downward gaze is surrender. The way you carry yourself is not just posture, it is proclamation. It declares to the world, and more importantly to yourself, who you are and what you allow yourself to be. Weakness curls in on itself. Strength expands. Straighten your spine, and you will feel it, an ancient force awakening within you, the silent authority that belongs only to those who refuse to shrink before life. The body speaks before the tongue does. A bowed head invites dominance. Squared shoulders repel it. The weak let gravity own them. Let the weight of existence press them down. The strong defy it, standing as if they own the space around them, because they do. There is no illusion here. No mysticism. No trick of the mind. The body commands the spirit as surely as the spirit commands the body. Slouch in defeat, and your thoughts will follow, spiraling downward, shrinking, withering into uncertainty. But stand as one who belongs to himself, and the mind will rise to meet the body's demand. Confidence is not found. It is forged moment by moment, through the way you choose to move, breathe, and stand. The world reacts to what you present. The dog bares its teeth at the fearful, but steps back from the one who does not flinch. People sense it too. There is a presence in those who hold themselves with quiet authority, who move without hesitation, who do not cower before unseen threats. They do not need to prove their strength. It radiates from them. And you, what do you radiate? What does your posture tell the world about you? More importantly, what does it tell you about yourself? If you wish to change how you feel, begin with how you stand. Let your body decide that you are unbreakable, and watch as your mind bends to obey. Stand tall and claim what is yours. The space around you, the moment before you, the power within you. Let nothing and no one diminish it. Change your breath. Master your mind. In the chaos of a moment, when the world spins too fast, when your thoughts feel like wild horses galloping beyond your control, there's one thing that remains within your command. One thing that, when seized, can ground you in the storm and bring clarity to the haze of panic. It is your breath. The frantic, shallow breath of fear spreads like wildfire, quickening the heart, clouding the mind, tightening the body. You begin to drown in your own panic, as if the very air has turned hostile, choking you. In those moments, when the pulse quickens and the mind races, remember, you are the one who controls the flow of air, not the air that controls you. It is not just a matter of inhaling and exhaling. It is a matter of domination. A matter of deciding to breathe deeply, slowly, with purpose, and in doing so, restoring order to the chaos that threatens to engulf you. When your mind is a battlefield, take control of the breath, and you take control of the war. A short, quick breath pushes you further into panic, feeding the frenzy that clouds your judgment. But the deep, slow breath, the long exhale, is the release of the mind's shackles. It brings you back from the edge, reconnects you to the world around you, and reminds you that, despite the noise and confusion, you remain present. You remain the observer, not the victim. Inhaling deeply, filling your lungs with air, not only nourishes the body but nourishes the spirit. The tension in your chest begins to fade, the tightness in your shoulders loosens, and the suffocating weight of fear recedes. The more you master your breath, the more you master your mind. The longer you hold your breath in clarity, the further you distance yourself from the madness of the moment. You are not bound by your emotions. You are not a slave to panic or anger or despair. These things come and go, like waves crashing against the shore. But you are the shore, solid, unshaken, unyielding. By controlling your breath, you return to your true nature, the still center at the heart of the storm. So when you feel the rush of panic, the swell of emotion threatening to consume you, remember this: breathe deeply, breathe slowly. Let the air fill you, and let it remind you of who you truly are, a force of clarity in a world that too often drowns itself in noise. And as you exhale, let go of the chaos. Let it dissipate into nothingness. You are the master of your breath. You are the master of your mind. Speak slowly. Command the rhythm of the world. In the rush of thought, in the frantic pace of modern life, words spill out like water from an unrestrained river, quick, untamed, stumbling over themselves. We speak faster and faster, believing that speed signifies power, that to rush through words is to rush through life. But in doing so, we give up something priceless. We lose control, and with it, we lose the ability to command the moment. The truth is simple: when you speak too fast, you become a prisoner of your own anxiety. The rapid pace mirrors the panic within, an invisible reflection of the restlessness that consumes you. Your mind, unable to keep up with your mouth, becomes entangled in itself. You lose the power to truly be present, to shape the moment with intention, because you are too busy racing against time, against expectations, against yourself. But when you slow down, when you speak with purpose, when each word is deliberate, when the rhythm of your voice matches the stillness of your thoughts, you step into your own power. In that slowing, there is mastery. In that pause between each sentence, there is depth. A slow pace doesn't signify hesitation, it signifies control. It is the art of commanding the space between you and the world, of choosing how you engage with reality, rather than being carried away by it. When you speak slowly, you control the atmosphere. People feel it in their bones. They sense the change, the shift in energy. They stop trying to keep up with you. Instead, they listen. And in that listening, they are drawn to you. There is a quiet confidence in those who understand the rhythm of their own speech. The fast talker may seem urgent, may seem like a person in demand, but it is the slow speaker who carries the weight of wisdom, the one who sets the tempo of the conversation. When you take your time with words, the world slows down. The noise recedes. You are no longer reacting to every rush of thought or emotion. Instead, you have created a space, your space. In that space, the world bends to your will. People wait for your next word, eager for the calm and certainty that only comes from someone who is in full control of themselves. So, in every conversation, take a breath. Speak slowly, and you will find not only a shift in the energy around you, but also a deeper connection with yourself. Time will stretch, and you will realize that the world, this chaotic, frenzied world, is not something to race through. It is something to move with, to command, and to shape at your own pace. Remain an enigma, disrupt the predictable. There is power in silence, but there is greater power in unpredictability. The world craves patterns, craves control. It searches for the familiar, the comfortable, the predictable. But you are not made to conform to their expectations. You are the storm in the calm, the shadow that slips out of sight before it is fully seen, the enigma that refuses to be deciphered. You see, provocation is the weapon of the weak. Those who seek to disturb, to challenge, to drag you into their web of drama, are slaves to their own need for certainty. They want you to react. They want you to reveal yourself, to show your cards, to give them something solid to hold on to. The moment they feel they have you figured out, they can control you. But you are the master of your own self. You are the one who decides whether to be drawn into their chaos. And how do you do this? By remaining unpredictable. By becoming the one thing they cannot grasp. When they expect anger, give them calm. When they want an argument, offer silence. When they anticipate a response, give them a smile and walk away. Your actions, your responses, your very presence becomes a riddle, one that defies their understanding, frustrates their attempts to manipulate you. And in that frustration, they are defeated. For the provocation of others is born from their own hunger for certainty, their need to control the narrative. By refusing to play along, you hold the power to rewrite the script. They will search for you in their minds, try to predict your next move, but they will never find you. You are elusive, a whisper in the crowd, a shadow on the wall. This unpredictability, this mystery, becomes your strength. It leaves the world off balance, unsure of what you will do next. It is the art of never being fully revealed, of always keeping something of yourself hidden, even from those who think they know you best. You are a puzzle, and they are left fumbling for the pieces. In a world that seeks to label, to categorize, to understand, be the one who remains a question mark, an unanswerable equation. Let others try to solve you. Let them search for answers in your movements, in your words, in your gaze. But they will never possess you. They will never own you. And in that mystery, you will find freedom. Freedom from the expectations of others, freedom from their judgments, and freedom from their ability to provoke. For as long as you remain a mystery, you will remain the master of your own domain. Don't justify yourself, own your decisions. To justify oneself is to invite scrutiny. The moment you begin to explain your actions, you relinquish control, offering others the power to judge, to dictate your worth, to shape the story. In this act of self-defeat, you reveal your own uncertainty. You allow the world to see you as a being who is unsure, as if your decisions need validation, as if the weight of your choices requires approval. But you are not a prisoner of others' expectations, nor should you ever let your resolve be questioned. I decided this is the only answer you need to give. Simple, unyielding. It is the proclamation of someone who is certain, someone who does not need to explain the depth of their thought to those who cannot comprehend it. You are not here to justify your existence. You are not here to cater to the doubts of those too weak to understand the strength behind your choices. Your decisions are yours alone, shaped by the knowledge that you are the only one who must live with them. The world thrives on validation. People constantly seek approval, eager to be accepted, to be understood. But in this endless struggle for acceptance, they give up the one thing that matters most, their own authority. To justify is to say, I need you to understand. I need your approval. But this need, this weakness, strips away your power. It is the mark of a person who lives in fear of rejection, who seeks to align with others instead of standing tall in the truth of their own decisions. When you simply state, "I decided this," you stand apart from the crowd. You are the one who defines the terms, the one who does not seek approval, the one whose will is absolute. The act of not justifying yourself sends a message louder than words could ever express. You are unshakable. Justification is the language of the insecure. It is the plea of those who fear judgment. But you are beyond such fears. Your decisions are the expression of your essence, the reflection of your power. Do not waste your energy explaining what does not need explanation. Do not engage with the small minds that require your validation. Stand firm. Stand resolute. In a world that thrives on conformity and collective approval, your refusal to justify yourself becomes an act of revolution. You are not here to satisfy others' need for clarity. You are here to live according to your own truth. And that, in itself, is the greatest power one can possess. Develop irony, disarm with subtlety. Humor, in its purest form, is a weapon. Not the brash, forceful jabs that wound and leave scars. No, that is the humor of the weak, the laughter of those who must tear others down to feel themselves rise. The true weapon is irony, the silent, piercing art of laughter that takes its time, that plays with expectation and turns it on its head. It is in the subtle twist, the unexpected turn of phrase, that true power lies. Irony does not scream. It whispers. It invites you to see the world from an angle you never considered, to laugh not at the folly of others, but at the absurdity of life itself. And this is where its strength lies. Irony is the silent conqueror, never seeking applause, never needing validation, but leaving an indelible mark on the soul of those who encounter it. To joke is to possess an understanding of the world beyond what is visible. But to master irony is to take that understanding and turn it into an invitation to view the world through a lens that does not conform to the mundane. A dry smile, a perfectly timed phrase, a remark that dances on the line between truth and fiction. This is the language of the enlightened. This is the weapon of the one who sees beyond the surface. Where sarcasm seeks to tear down, irony builds up. Sarcasm is a shield, a defense against vulnerability. Irony, however, is a quiet mastery of the situation, a knowing glance, a playful tug at the fabric of reality. It does not seek to dominate, but to illuminate. It disarms not through force, but through wit, through the quiet joy of those who are in on the secret of the absurdity that surrounds them. This is not humor for the sake of making others laugh. It is humor for the sake of creating connection. Irony is the bridge between minds, the unspoken understanding that those who wield it share a deeper knowledge, a more refined vision of the world. To joke, but not to mock. To laugh, but not to ridicule. It is humor that leaves you with more than just amusement. It leaves you with a new way of seeing, a new way of understanding, a new way of being. So, develop irony. Cultivate it like a fine art. Let it be your shield and your sword. Laugh, but never at others, always with them, and always at the folly of the world itself. The more you refine this skill, the more you will realize that you are not merely living in the world, you are dancing with it, leading it in a rhythm only you can understand. Listen, but do not take it personally. Words are nothing more than fleeting sounds. They are echoes in the void, born from the minds of others, shaped by their own fears, desires, and limitations. These sounds may reverberate in the air, momentarily filling the space between you and the speaker, but they are of no more substance than the wind. You are the one who decides if they will take root in your soul or dissolve into nothingness. When others speak, they reveal their own truths, their own struggles, their own wounds. Their words are a reflection of their own inner turmoil, their own perceptions of the world. But these perceptions are not yours to carry. Their reality is not yours to inherit. To take their words personally is to surrender your power, to give them control over your emotions, your thoughts, your very being. Do you understand the gift of detachment? To hear without absorbing. To listen without becoming entangled. When someone hurls insults or offers praise, it is not a reflection of your worth. It is a reflection of their understanding of the world, limited and filtered through their own experiences. If you allow yourself to be caught in their words, you are simply playing the part they have written for you in their own narrative. You are becoming their puppet, dancing to the rhythm of their expectations. But you are no one's puppet. You are the master of your own soul, the creator of your own path. To truly be free, to be invulnerable, is to hear without reacting, to understand without being moved. When someone speaks to you, let their words pass through you like the wind through the trees, heard but never anchored. Do not give them the power to shape your reality, to define your worth. Their words, no matter how sharp or sweet, are ultimately nothing more than fleeting sounds, just like the wind. You are the one who gives them meaning, the one who allows them to resonate within you. And so you must decide, will you allow their fleeting sounds to pierce your heart, or will you let them pass by, undisturbed, as you remain anchored in your own strength? It is not the words that matter, it is how you choose to receive them. They are nothing but vibrations in the air, and you have the power to transform them into either a source of pain or a mere echo in the distance. You are not defined by what others say. You are defined by what you allow to affect you. The key to mastery is not in the absence of words, but in your ability to remain unmoved by them. You and only you hold the key to your own emotional landscape. Step away from the conflict zone. To engage in every battle is the folly of the weak. It is the illusion of control that compels the unwise to fight on every front. But in truth, not every fight is worth your energy, your presence, or your soul. The more you step into conflict, the more you diminish your own power. Each skirmish, each trivial confrontation, pulls you away from your higher purpose, dragging you into the mire of human pettiness, where all is noise and nothing ever truly changes. The truly wise know that sometimes the greatest strength lies not in fighting, but in walking away. In retreating, not out of fear, but out of strategic mastery. You are not required to engage with every conflict that comes your way. Why waste your spirit on a battle that will not serve your greater vision? Why lose yourself in the chaos of a meaningless quarrel when you could instead preserve your energy for the battles that truly matter, the ones that shape the destiny of your soul? Understand this. The battlefield of the mind is vast. It stretches beyond the immediate moment, beyond the narrow, petty squabbles of the present. There are greater forces at work, higher pursuits that demand your full attention. To be drawn into the trivialities of daily conflict is to squander the divine opportunity to create your own masterpiece. Life is not a series of battles to be won for the sake of victory alone. It is the art of choosing your engagements wisely, of knowing when to step back and let the world fight its own battles. The true warrior knows that sometimes the greatest strength is in walking away, in remaining silent when others shout, in letting the noise of conflict wash over you without allowing it to touch you. There is immense power in retreat, not because you are weak, but because you are wise enough to understand that some conflicts are beneath you. There is a higher game at play, and only those who have mastered themselves know how to choose their battles. Not every fight is a worthy fight. Sometimes, the only victory is in silence, in non-engagement, in knowing that your energy is too precious to waste on what cannot be changed. You are the author of your own narrative, and you decide where to invest your strength. So walk away when you must. Preserve your energy for the great struggles that will shape your path. Let the fools battle among themselves. You, my friend, are destined for something greater. Make a conscious choice. Explode or be great. In every moment of conflict, of challenge, of frustration, there lies a choice, an immense, raw decision that will determine your path. Will you allow the tempest of emotions to consume you? Will you explode in fury, giving in to the primal, fleeting impulse to release your pain and anger, only to regret it moments later? Or will you rise above, choosing the greatness of the mind, the clarity of the soul, and the enduring strength of reason? The greatest power you possess lies in your ability to choose, not in the reflexive outburst, the easy satisfaction of letting your emotions dictate your actions. That is the path of the weak. It is the surrender to chaos, to the madness of reaction, where one is tossed around like a leaf in the wind, unable to determine the direction of their own journey. To explode is to give yourself away, to lose yourself in the momentary surge of emotion. It is to allow the world and others to pull your strings, to make you dance to their tune, with no regard for your true essence. But greatness, true greatness, is a deliberate act. It is the conscious choice to stand firm, to rise above the noise, to master your inner world rather than be ruled by it. The true strength lies in restraint, in the power to control, to remain steadfast when the world seems to demand your reaction. This is the path of the warrior who knows that the battle is not with the world outside, but with the forces within. The greatest victories are won not through force, but through self-mastery. Each time you face the pressure to explode, you stand at a crossroads. One road leads to the easy victory of emotion, a brief triumph that soon fades and leaves nothing but regret and emptiness. The other road leads to the silent, enduring power of greatness, a greatness that is cultivated, not in moments of impulse, but in the quiet strength to endure, to choose wisely, to remain unmoved by the forces that seek to drag you into their madness. The choice is yours. Will you be ruled by your emotions, or will you choose the higher path, the path of reason, of wisdom, of greatness? To choose reason is not to deny your emotions, but to rise above them, to understand them as a force that can be harnessed, rather than a force that controls you. It is to acknowledge the storm inside, yet remain the calm in its center. So the next time the pressure mounts, when the emotions surge, make the conscious choice, explode or be great. The greatness of the mind is not in avoiding emotions, but in using them as a tool, not a master. And when you choose greatness, you choose the eternal. You choose mastery over your life, rather than being swept away by the moment. This is the mark of a true conqueror, not one who reacts, but one who chooses the path of enduring strength and wisdom. As you stand on the edge of each choice, remember this: the power to shape your life lies within you. Every moment, every decision, is a reflection of your strength or your surrender. Choose wisely, choose with purpose, and become the master of your own destiny. Stay strong, stay deliberate, and rise above. May your mind be your greatest ally, and your soul your true guide.